Hi everyone, this is Attorney Dalia Castillo, and I just did a Spanish version of what FOIA is and how to get your immigration documents from USCIS and EOIR. We have consultations. We're still having consultations, but we are no longer doing them in person. We are doing them by Skype and WhatsApp. To schedule your appointment, you can do so by calling 910-484-3245. Like I said earlier, I'm going to talk about how to get copies of your immigration file through the FOIA process, or Freedom of Information Act, and how it can help you with your immigration case. In my opinion, FOIA is one of the most important part of the immigration process because you get to see what information immigration has on you. FOIA is the process where you ask immigration for a copy of your file. I know some of you may ask, why should I get a copy of my file? If you or someone have filed an immigration, if someone has filed you or someone has filed an immigration papers for you in the past, and you have maybe moved from where you were living when you did it, or you may have received a letter from immigration court and you didn't get it because you moved. And what will happen is, if you don't appear in immigration court, they're going to order you deported in your absence. The word for that is called in absentia order. And that is a deportation order. And a lot of people who come into my office, sometimes they have that and they have no knowledge of this. So this is why it's important to FOIA your immigration file. Sometimes FOIA may allow you to fix your status without you having to leave the U.S. If you cross the border and you marry a U.S. citizen, oftentimes you would need to do a 601A waiver, which would require you to leave the U.S. and do your visa interview or your green card interview outside the U.S. But if someone, may have filed paperwork for you, could be your aunt, your uncle, your grandmother may have filed, or your grandfather may have filed papers for your parents, and you are on them when you were a child, you may be eligible for 245I, which is a law in the immigration regulations, which will allow some people, if they qualify, to stay here in the U.S. and have their immigration or their green card interviews done in the U.S. without them having to leave. And that's why, maybe doing the FOIA process, that would save you, the headache or the anxiety of leaving the U.S. And having everything done here in the U.S. You may appear, like I said, in front of an immigration judge, and you are not even sure what happened, either because you don't understand the process, or it has been so long ago, you don't know if you got a deportation order or a voluntary departure. This is important to have, get a look at your records to see what's in them. Now, the other question is, do I need a lawyer to do it? Of course. Well, I mean, yeah, I would say, of course, because I'm one, but you really don't need one. But if you have a lot of immigration history, some people may have been in the courts. I mean, they may not even know like how big their immigration file is. And a lawyer may be able to help you review and analyze those records. So I would say yes, in that respect, you probably would need a lawyer to do it for you. The other thing where a lawyer would be helpful in this process is that when you file any immigration paperwork, you have to put an address. With the FOIA applications, if you use a lawyer, the lawyer will put their address. So that way, immigration, they won't have your address. They won't know where you live. They'll only have the lawyer's address, and they can't force the lawyer to tell them where you live. So that is an advantage to having a lawyer do it. The other thing is, sometimes if you don't have an A number or you don't know what that is, you may want to do your fingerprints to send along with your FOIA application. There are only certain places you can go to have your fingerprints done, like the police department or a private company. Most people don't want to go to the police department to have their fingerprints done. Most private companies, they want you to have a state-issued ID. If you're undocumented, most likely you probably won't have a state-issued ID. A matricular consular card would not be good enough for that. So what most lawyers do, including myself, we will do the fingerprinting in our office, and that gives you protection. We know who you are, your identity, where you live. The only information that immigration will have of yours for this process would be the information they need to pull up your records, your file, and send it to our office so that the lawyer can review it. Now, the other advantage in having a lawyer do this process is that most of the times when these records come back, they'll redact them, where they'll like put a black line or they'll leave certain lines blank, and they'll say some privacy reason why they cannot give the documents. A lawyer can appeal to have them send all the documents that they have redacted. And if this happens, you will get 60 days to appeal the decision, and you'll be able to get more information than they gave you. So you would definitely need an attorney to help you with the appeal. Now, if you have questions about the FOIA process, please give us a call, 910-484-3245. Talk to you soon. Have a good day. Bye.